Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dire Bear Wednesday game, Monster of the Week, Eyes of the Fallen. I am your DM, Q, or as my players know me from this, Eye in the Sky. Getting right
Also,
into
Lizard
it.
Queen.
Lizard Queen, King, Lizard person, just in general. I guess I've yet to shed my skin, so
Hey,
you
lizard.
can't prove nothing. We're going to jump right into sponsors. Of course, we like to thank D&D Beyond. That is D, the letter N, D, Beyond.com. We may not use it tonight, but you can always join us on Mondays and Thursdays where we do use it quite often. Helps track stats, health, moves, spells, anything you want to really know about players in those games. Players, characters. Of course, we also like to thank Ducky Life. Lucky Dice Cafe. If you're looking for live games in the Huntsville, Alabama, once everything is over, do be sure to go check it out. Our DM Cap does DM there. Usually he DMs there like 3 nights a week, normally, right? Before all of this went down? Quite
I
often.
believe so.
DMs quite often there. We also do have a YouTube if you've missed any of our past games or would like to binge games that we have finished. Be sure to check that out. Maddie has spent a lot of time organizing everything into folders for that, so be sure to go check it out. We do also have a Patreon. We know times are hard right now, so if you can't support us now, you can always support us later if you'd like. Can learn more about characters, about players, world building, learning, even from Cap himself. It's a great tool to learn more things. As you'll see, we do have a new face here for the Wednesday night game. You may recognize him from the Monday night campaign. We do have Steve with us. He is joining us now as a player since we lost a player recently. So, everyone, welcome Steve. Good claps. And now we're going to dive right into it. So, last week at the end of session, it was off cam. I had my players roll for something. The winner of that roll was Morgan.
Really?
Yeah?
Oops.
Oops. All right.
That's Stuart's thing.
After going to bed and falling into a restful sleep, you awaken. Though it's not near bed. It's dark for a moment until you see the light at the end of the hallway. Your movement is forced. Even if you don't want to go down this hallway, you can feel your legs moving. You can feel yourself taking those steps to get to the light. The light is warm and it washes over you until you find yourself hiding behind something. It was within a split second where your vision changed from you walking into the light to finding yourself crouched behind something. You hear an old woman's voice. It seems we have a guest. You peek around the large, now you can tell it's a chair, and you can see a big table. There are 5 chairs surrounding this table, but only 2 are taken. You've hidden yourself behind an empty one. You hear the words, "Come here, young man." You watch the woman hold out her hand to you, and your movement is forced again. With your hand in hers, you realize your hand is much smaller than it usually is. Normally, your hand would probably dwarf an older woman's hand, maybe. I don't know how Morgan got big hands.
Average.
Average, well, this is the hand of a child. You realize now you're probably dreaming, because there's no way you're the size of a child. You hear her speak again, you should not be here. And then she says the name Odette. You turn your head to see a woman with long blonde hair and a very sweet face moving towards him. You hear the old woman say, "Make him forget and send him home." The woman takes you by the hand and walks you away. "Hello, Morgan. It's time to go." Her voice is soft and she crouches in front of you, but suddenly her voice is now in your mind. "You know Quincy. You must remember this. Your arm is burning all of a sudden. Warn him they are coming. Remember this, but I must take something else. Your arm continues to burn, but you go to move to make a scream, to make a yell, to tell her to stop, and no sound comes from you. It's within a moment that you're waking up, but it's another unknown place. Your vision clears and you find yourself standing in flames. They don't hurt you, but they hurt the others. How you didn't notice it at first, you're not too sure, but as the voices clear, you can hear them. Cassie, James, Stuart, Jernia. It's the house in the forest. It's in flames, and your friends are burning. The last thing you see is a man with long hair holding onto a body you don't recognize. The man is tall and thin, his body seeming to be where the fire is coming from, but it doesn't hurt him. You hear your name all of a sudden, and the man's mouth opens, but it's not a voice you don't recognize, it's Doll's. You hear your name loud again, Morgan, and you open your eyes. Doll is sitting over top of you. He seemed to be shaking you from what you can only kind of tell would have been a bad dream. You're sweating, you're shaking, and you crawl out of bed to go get a glass of water, and you don't remember much from the dream, except that you have to warn Quincy of something and the flames. When you go to open your fridge, you pause. That burning sensation that you remember from the dream on your arm, you look down to your forearm and there is a rune carved in dark red. It looks healed, like it's been there for maybe a week, but you don't remember ever doing it to you. To yourself, or even getting it done by someone else. You go back to sleep, you have a dreamless night. Nothing else comes to you as you sleep. When you awaken the next day, you remember bits and pieces, but other than that, there's nothing else there. We move on to our new face.
We're fucking fighting Freddy Krueger, guys.
Sorry, Q, just before you begin.
Yep.
Ladies and gents, we are aware of the video lag that's going on right now. There's nothing we can do about it. It might just be a server issue on Zoom's end. Because it's not on my end and I'm the streamer. So bear with it for tonight. Hopefully it will sort itself out. If not, then we'll just have a little bit of audio video desync. So
Uh-oh.
but everything's still going through clear.
I'm just very good at ventriloquism, and I didn't tell you guys.
That explains a lot. Anyway, sorry, Q. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Ralph, you're new to town. You've heard a little bit about this town. There are people here, like you. Not the same, maybe, but you know other things do live here. During, you were able to easily get the hotel room with your fun disguise. The guy kind of looked at you funny, but definitely was just like, just gotta take a room. The next morning you awake, you do have a package. It was sent by an old friend, and it is a necklace. The note on it does state that this will help keep yourself a little inconspicuous around town if you'd like to take it.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna go ahead and don that.
It takes a moment. The note also says that just think of what you'd prefer to look like, and the necklace will give you that appearance.
Neat trick. Shall I describe that now, or when we meet the
No,
rest
you
of
can.
the
You
Scooby
can
gang?
go ahead. Yeah. No, go ahead.
So he essentially shimmers into like the best I could think of was a younger looking Richard Gere, maybe with a little lighter features. Still fairly business casual suit, still wearing that trench coat, though not the goofy glasses from the teaser. But otherwise, seems like he's the kind of guy who you'd see just in a diner eating pie some days.
Beautiful. Sounds like a beautiful man.
I'm not
Everybody
gonna
gets.
lie, I had to go look up what Richard Gere looks like because I knew who he was but could not put a face to the name.
You're not the only one.
And then I had to do the search to include younger Richard Gere because
Yeah.
all we got was older photos right now. I'm good.
Okay. Perfect. The town is fairly quiet. This is it's fall now. The last time it was about the end of October. It was the week of Halloween that you guys spent in the little fair. You would have caught like a couple days afterwards for that, Ralph, so you would have been able to kind of explore the town amidst like masses of people if you wanted. There are a couple weird people here and there, but from what you can tell, you're like, feels like a quiet town.
Yeah, there's weirdos everywhere.
Exactly. Old Man Jones is the weirdest person you've come across, and he just keeps telling you to look down because the birds are back.
The birds work for the bourgeoisie.
Yeah, that's Old Man Jones. Yeah.
Wise Man Jones.
I almost had coffee come out my nose for that. I don't know why. I'm glad it's cold coffee. Okay. You are more than welcome to go in to town and explore the town a little bit, see the strange happenings. The town's biggest news is still that the old wood mill has been finally pulled to the ground. After the strange happenings of a little girl going missing and being really, really sick, and then suddenly really healthy, and then the wood mill being brought down to the ground. That's the biggest news that this town has had. Besides the circus being consistently in town, which is we'll move over to Stuart for a moment with the circus. Stuart, it's been still steady from everyone still coming and going. The circus has been putting on new acts, new shows to enjoy. Until one day that the Madame Spinoli comes out and she knows she was asking you to help find the gun that she had lost. She's still keeping an eye out for. She tells you that a couple of the performers have been gone for longer than a day.
Oh.
She brings up. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
She tells you that the clowns are missing. She feels like it's a strange way to put it because the clowns have always been ones that they'll leave They'll come back. They're always there to put on a show, but they weren't there for last night's show. She kind of chalked it up as like she always chalks it up that they like they've never missed a show. And even you know that they've never missed a show.
Right.
But the clowns are missing.
Oh,
Who's all missing? Is Bingo gone? How about like
Scrambling to write notes.
We don't have names for the clowns. I'll take clowns as you go. It's fine. There are 3 missing. Bingo is not one of them.
oh thank God.
It's you know what? It's Jingle.
Oh no. Well, that's not that bad. I owe him money.
Jingle, Pom Pom. That sounds like a dog name, but I don't care. And
Pickles.
I like that.
you Pickles.
Funniest shit I
Sure.
ever seen.
You know, like from the hit kids show Arthur, Pickles the clown.
Bingo's not missing, but Jingle, Pom Pom, and Pickles are.
Okay. Do we know where they were at last? Like, do the other guys know?
Bingo hasn't talked about it. They said they met with like a bunch of people the last time there was a show. So like the last big show where everyone from the town would have come through back and forth would have been Halloween night.
Right.
Where you guys got to enjoy the maze, the fireworks, all of that.
I was hard at work the whole time that day. Didn't mess around at all. Count on me.
I know, Stuart. You're very good at what you do.
Thank you. Well, I'll keep an eye out for the boys. Don't know what to tell you about the gun. Still looking for that. Swear on my life.
Well, if there's any news, be sure to keep me posted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stuart's like sweating.
Actively.
It's hot out today.
It's the middle of fall. It's like the end of fall, almost winter.
You're working hard though.
Clearly, you've never been in a winter in the South.
Yeah, hardcore Canadian. So
Weather over 60 degrees is a myth.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Otherwise, she says that most of the circus is taking the day off today. It's a good break day for everyone, and since some of the clowns' act is missing, they figured break day.
Look, I'm gonna go hang out with some people I know.
All right.
Yeah, you have a good one, Spinoles. Madam Spinoles, sorry.
Goodbye,
Know
Stuart.
your place.
See ya.
Oh gosh. All right. James. I had it that I kind of had the idea that you were there for some of the maze and the mirror maze.
Okay.
You weren't there for the demon summoning. I have this feeling that the moment you heard there was something being summoned, you were like, no.
Look at that time. I gotta get to church.
Come on, James. It's gonna be fun, dude.
Okay, bye.
Swear.
It's
Send
like
me a postcard
8:30
wherever
PM
you
on a Friday.
wherever you wind up.
It's 8:30.
Otherwise, what would James have been doing? Mostly just working on his library, or
More than likely. Researching out of it, researching out of the library in the house.
Okay. You would have been able to meet Cassie's boyfriend, Ansel, who was the vampire that she so nicely mentioned about.
So, do you always date your food?
Do you ask that in front of her?
No.
Okay.
It's a question he has, though, that he would poke around in the guy's head to see if he could find an answer to.
The only answer that you'd probably get or see would be like, didn't plan on having her as food?
So some people are food and some people aren't.
Just depends on how you look at them. Oh. You know about the other kid, sorry, you would have been there for the mirror maze, so you would have also met Liam, who was in charge of the mirror maze and was the one that was actually moving the mirrors around.
Now, where was his mirror maze at? Was that the circus or?
It was at the circus. The town and the circus talked, so they were able to put on a small sort of Halloween-like fair. They ended up doing their biggest attractions every year has always been the maze and the mirror maze. Everyone always complains that the mirror maze was always so hard, and I'd like to think at a young age you figured out why, and that was because there was someone with magic moving the mirrors around. Because you would have been able to see through the magic of the mirrors
Okay.
with your special eyes.
So the mirror maze is run by somebody local, though.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like a local couple of people. They brought in a couple rides that the circus would not have had, a couple other stalls besides the stalls the circus would have had, that kind of thing.
Okay.
It's like a good little fair / small amusement park kind of thing. So usually the circus, every year usually the circus wouldn't have been part of it normally, but the circus is still in town, so the circus was able to kind of take part.
Okay. Make it a bigger event than it would have been.
Yep. Pull in more people. And that's exactly what it did. Pulled in people from a couple people from out of town. People traveling through tended to make some stops and enjoy it as well. This was the biggest year for it, for sure. Usually it's just a little common, like, small town thing, but this year it definitely has been a lot bigger than it was. All right, Jernia.
Yes.
The bookstore has always been quiet. You know it's always been quiet. Quincy has made some appearances here and there, but we're not... he says a couple things and then says he's leaving again and is gone for days at a time before coming back, grabbing some things, giving you like a few days off, and then
Or ostensibly he would be watching the library or the bookstore instead of me.
Yep.
Okay.
Give you a couple days off to do stuff if you so desired.
When he comes back, like the first couple of times, do I notice any marking, any scarring, anything on him?
Quincy has always been known for wearing like a larger coat that would always sit over his shoulders and a long sleeve shirt. So you're not seeing anything new. He does move differently. Sometimes he seems to be maybe favoring his left side more than his right. Normally he's very quick at walking through the store. Sometimes he would take a little bit longer maybe, but he always would not make a show of it. Maybe even if he's walking slow, he would maybe look at a bookshelf for a second, pull a book off, and then continue back to his room.
Trying really hard to pretend, but I've known him for a while now, and I can tell.
You can tell that he's definitely walking differently, like that he is probably hurt in some way, but you're not sure how.
Okay. So the first couple times, like this is just a consistent thing as he makes his appearances.
Mhm.
Okay.
One time he's
First-
favoring his right side. The other time maybe he seems to be like favoring like his right arm. The other time his left arm. He's walking maybe a little bit straighter at one time.
All right. So the first couple times, I don't say anything. we pretend we do not see it.
Mhm.
But like the third or maybe the fourth time, I kind of like watch him. I don't know. Maybe he like fumbles a book or something, and he like goes forward or something. And that's when I'm like, you can just say that you're hurt, and it's okay. I can help you.
It's not that I am entirely not hurt for a reason. Jernia, it's preparing, I guess.
Preparing by just being in pain.
It's the normalcy of things.
It really isn't.
For you. He's never really showed you most of the tattoos he actually has on his body. He rolls up his sleeve. You can see all the dark markings that are on his skin. Most of them are runes, some of them are other symbols. You recognize some of the runes that you've seen in the old woodmill. One that was like a protection rune. He has a couple of those here and there. It looks like one of them has been done over a couple of times. You notice a couple of new ones on his skin. They're fresher. They definitely
the pigmentation's a little
darker. There's like scabbing. It's very obvious. And his skin around it is red, almost like it's burned.
Are you doing that to yourself?
It's the way of magic. Sometimes there's a give, sometimes there's a take.
Interesting. Why?
I'm not entirely meant to be here.
Like, here's Scottsdale, Smithsdale?
Yes. We'll leave it at that. It's protection, invisibility, and a power blocker of sorts.
Is this how you
Stay hidden.
stay hidden? And don't... Have I made the connection between him being a divine and the other person? Yeah.
He said that that divine was an old friend. Which is why he knew to be there whenever she was passing.
Okay. Stay hidden. Well, is there anything in the meantime? There's, lotions and stuff you can put on tattoos usually.
They're not entirely, they're not ink, Jernia. There's, it's a day or two of pain, and, then it will be fine.
A day or two of pain. You've been, almost every time I've seen you, you've been limping.
That's because there's more than, just, one symbol that I've had to do. There is always give and take. Plus, I splay my power out between not just me. So, I've been making visits. It's fine.
I don't know if it's fine. I'm a little worried about you. You can't pour from an empty cup.
I don't know if my cup is entirely empty. Not yet, anyway.
You keep
When
going
the
like
time
this and it
comes
will.
that the cup will always refill, Jernia. Do not worry on me now. Worry on it later.
You mean when you die?
A divine never truly dies. Not here.
This is just more questions than answers.
And that is the fun of being a strange old bookstore owner.
And the apprentice.
Take a few days off, Jarnia. I will be here to watch over the store.
Be careful. She goes to get like a, I don't know, some sort of like something ball shaped, and like makes the magic of her ice to make like a little icicle on the bottom to make a cane for him. Here, don't run into another bookshelf, please.
Don't run into another bookshelf. Okay, thank you, Jarnia. Take Nebula with you.
Are you sure?
Yes. I'm sure she'd enjoy some time away.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I love that doll. And just grab Nebula. I'm just like, oh, we're going on a trip, I guess. Where we go? I'd probably go home or something. Just kind of vibe.
Just vibe with a doll. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
If anyone ever visited, I would, or if I ever have to make an NPC trip at some, or a PC trip to meet with any of them, I would be taking Nebula.
Okay. Cassie, what have you been up to?
Honestly, probably taking my time going through the library that's at the house, reading through every journal right from the beginning.
Okay.
Just one of those, like, it's knowledge. It's a way for her to learn more about the supernatural in ways that may not be dangerous.
Mhm.
Which, of course, makes Ansel happy, because then she's not doing stupid shit.
He sees you drawing, hands slap on that picture. The fuck is this?
She's just, every time he does that, it's never actually circles. She's, like, sketching, something from one of the journals into her own journal, and it's, like, the picture of a creature or something, but every time he just thinks it's a summoning circle, and she's just like, well, how much longer are we gonna be doing this?
It's just like watching you. No. After a while, he gets over it a little bit. A lot of the books are still in languages you don't understand. So as much like there are pictures here or there that you can sketch from, but a lot of the time they're just you look at the language and you're like, I don't even know what that means. So unless James is also taking journals and maybe translating them online or finding Salem to do it. Because after a while, though, Salem's just like translate.
No, I mean she'll start with the ones that are in the languages she knows.
Most of you know what English, Latin,
I have it written. I know English, Spanish, and Latin.
Okay. How many books are there journal-wise? It's about 84 journals.
Okay.
All of them are separate people. There are a couple of them that have like an extra like maybe book that has barely been started. There's maybe about there's a couple in Spanish. There's 2 in Latin. So I'm gonna say 3 Spanish, 2 Latin, and about 4 in English.
Out of 84 books, only 4 are in English? For a place in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
You're fucking a vampire.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see the
Zing.
correlation, but okay.
as far as weird things going on,
There's actually one book that Ansel's able to point out and says that's in a sort of vampiric script.
Well, that's good to know. She, there is no possible way to get a Wi-Fi signal out there, is there?
Nope.
she kind of just starts to consider like taking trips into town, literally just to use the Wi-Fi to translate these herself, so that she doesn't have to keep asking Salem or doesn't have to keep asking James. But it seems like a lot of work. Even though she's curious, that's a lot of books that she's got to translate that she's not even sure what the language is for some of them. Probably for most of them. Okay, well then, I mean, once she's finished going through the journals that she can read, and the one that Ansel would translate for her if she asked, which she does, there's other books in that library. So, she has other things to continue reading through, so that's what she does. Which is the first one she checks is safeguarding herself against a summoning circle, because she was stupid enough to do so, and so in an effort to put his mind at ease, that's the first thing she looks for, since she was the one who did it, and not Stuart, and if somebody's coming for anybody, it's gonna be her.
Gonna be coming for Vinny, you mean?
I mean, yes,
Absolutely going for Vinny.
but she's the
For all
one...
you know, Vinny could be dead right now. I hope you're happy.
Very happy.
At the
But-
very least, more cops are coming after him.
She's
Someone
the
stepped
one...
all over my spaghetti.
She's the one who did the circle, which means that,
Yeah.
you know, as much as she tries to not think about the possibility, there's a very real chance that he would still be able to find her, because it's her signature on the circle. So she's looking for ways to safeguard herself from that, because that seems like a smart thing to do. Whether or not she finds something like that here is another story, but that's, you know, she just starts spending her time reading through all of the stuff that's here at the library. I mean, why not? It's there, it's knowledge. And she'd like to learn more.
Okay, perfect. Morgan. You've had a bad dream. The symbol that you saw on your arm has faded a little bit, but the lines are still there. It's almost like a raised scar, basically, at this point.
Well, the fact that it's still there and didn't go away with waking up is a little worrying. So, like, when is it during the day?
Yeah, it would be like daytime by now.
Okay. Well, I suppose I will get myself ready. You know, not rushing or anything, but gotta look great. And then I will go to the bookstore, since I can remember Quincy. So I'll go there and see him.
You get to the bookstore. Jernia is not there. But the store is open, and Quincy is very quick to come out of the back room once he hears the bell. Morgan, you just missed Jernia if you're looking for her.
Actually, I was looking to talk to you about something.
To me, of course. Would you like
Where-
to sit?
Where's the symbol on my arm?
Forearm, like right here,
Okay.
basically.
Sorry, what did he say?
Would you like to sit? Tea? I have tea.
Yeah, we might need to sit down for this. I don't know how like how real this really is, but I'm willing to bet it's a little more real than I think it is.
Of course. He leads you into, he doesn't take you into the back. He does lock up the bookstore for a quick moment, but there's always been that one little section where there's, a couple large leather chairs for people to sit and read. He ends up taking, one of the dolls that has been sitting in the chair, and, he picks it up, and he sits down and sits it on his lap, and then points to the other chair for you.
I'll go over and sit down. I I had a funny dream last night.
Well, there are many things for a funny dream. How?
More than a little funny. But you were in it. Well, you were mentioned in it. It was very suspicious. It's a little fuzzy, like what exactly happened. I just remember flames and fire, and they said to warn you that they were coming. And then this, and I'll like pull up my sleeve and I'll show him the mark on my arm. I'm pretty sure I didn't scratch myself. So unless my boyfriend's getting really kinky without me, something happened.
Quincy doesn't say anything. He just leans forward to look at the symbol. He's quick to grab your arm to pull it a little closer to him. It's not rough. It's not like it's a gentle pull, so he's not hurting you or anything. He moves his thumb over the edges of the symbol, and you can see them glow just a little bit. Give me just a moment. I'll see what this is. It may be uncomfortable for a split second.
Okay.
Quincy closes his eyes. You feel the burning in your arm again. It's not as bad as it was in the dream, from what you remembered. Quincy has gone silent, and he is just staring at the symbol. He's quick to move his hand back after a couple seconds. Huh. You are fine. You're protected. You met with a woman, Odette? Do you remember that name?
It's a familiar name. I don't remember if I met with her. I just remember that name.
You've seen something that you shouldn't have, Morgan,
Oh,
first of all.
good.
There's a very large chance that it is something that will happen. That could happen if you don't make the correct steps forward. I'll be leaving
Okay.
town for a bit.
Okay.
I will message Jernia. She will know. She will be fine. Tell Salem and Bones to stay hidden or to leave town.
You're giving me more questions than answers.
Morgan, you had a vision, and part of that vision has shown you some of the council. You saw a large table with chairs, correct?
I think so.
Do you remember how many chairs were empty?
Fuck. No.
You saw 3.
3. I just remembered.
Okay. If they're coming, they're looking for Tal, lad. More than likely.
My son.
Yeah, your son.
Ugh.
I suggest taking him back to the house. Keeping him there, perhaps. That's my best bet for keeping him hidden for at least for now.
So you said Salem and Bones should leave town, but what about me or Doll?
Are you dead?
No. I didn't know if you meant dead or if you meant like us.
No. They are technically more along the dead side. A ghost, a skeleton.
Right.
There will be interesting happenings. I'm sure within the next few days. You should get everyone ready. I will try and return within the week, but if I don't, well, let's not worry on that now.
Well, I will I'll get the word around. I will talk to Bones and Salem.
He taps on the symbol on your arm. This will unfortunately stay until she takes it back. There is a chance you have memories missing. Do not worry on that right now. She takes to give.
Okay. I would say I don't know what memories are missing, but that would kind of be the point, I suppose.
Quincy stands and he puts the doll back onto the chair. Stay as safe as you can, Morgan.
Of course.
And he unlocks the front door to let you out to leave. And when he closes the door, he locks it this time and moves back into the back room.
Okay. Well, I suppose the first thing I'll do is I'll go home and I'll move Tallboy.
Mm-hmm. All
And
right.
explain to Doll like what's happening.
Okay. You can take Dollboy. Quincy has definitely showed you the forest. He has showed you how to get through the forest. And how to stay away from or how to keep the peace with the creatures that protect the outer ring of the house. And if you go that way, you can go that way, or you call up Jernia to go through the door in the bookstore. That is up to you to decide which way you will take.
It doesn't matter, I suppose. What were my choices? I already forgot.
Calling Jernia to go through the door in the bookstore, which is a much quicker,
Yeah.
or going through the forest, which will take longer.
Yeah,
since
I'll
you
just
have
call
to, you have
Jernia.
to walk through it. Okay.
Just call, yeah.
Okay. You call up Jernia. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hey,
Oh no.
only a minor emergency. Which is a bit of an oxymoron, but only minor one. I need to get into the shop, and I need to get to the portal so I can bring Tallboy to the mansion, so we can stay there for a little while.
I'm already. She's already getting dressed. Yeah. Is everything okay? Stay on the line. Stay on the line with me. Stay on the line with me.
I'm okay. I'm okay. You know what? I'll call you back later. All right. Bye.
What?
Stay on the phone with me. Stay on the phone with me. Click.
I get like you just get like a million texts like, what's going on? Fucking talk to me.
You get a K in response.
Oh my scene.
Wow. You and
The
Logan.
apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Oh my god.
And I'll make it. I'll make it there eventually, and I still have Nebula.
Perfect.
Open up.
Perfect. I want to put a pause on something for a second. Ralph,
Mm-hmm.
from your background, would you say you have, when it comes to, I guess, necromancy in a way, would you have a feeling when it comes towards that sort of energy, that sort of power, that sort of magic?
Yes, but only when I have a trinket nearby
Okay.
that helps me focus.
Okay. Do you have that? Do you have a trinket like that?
That's the original trinket that. Yes,
Yes. Okay. Perfect. I just wanted to double check.
it was
Perfect.
actually another amulet.
Another amulet. So you have like this like long chain necklace. That's what the item was on. And you have that one. Okay, perfect. Which that one you've now noticed fits correctly. Strangely enough.
Hmm.
It's a strange feeling. You're like, I don't know about that. But it definitely fits a lot better. Now. You've had that feeling in town. Going through the town, kind of just scoping out the town and the people, being able to check everything out. You've had that feeling a couple times going past one building of a strong sort of necrotic energy. Would you say you would go into town and like just kind of peruse the streets every once in a while just to see? You
Yeah,
can
I'm not
tell
necessarily
it's
looking for trouble, but scouting for trouble.
that energy, like looking at your stuff. Once feeling that energy, would that be something you would check into every once in a while?
I absolutely.
Especially if it's at a building? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If it's been at one specific building for a couple days, you've noticed that it's moving. It's being moved. You can see what you can probably think of as a kid moving something. And you can feel the energy with that kid being moved away from the building.
Well, I definitely have to go find out what the hell's going on there. Act casual.
Act casual in your new skin.
Yeah. Look like the guy in the neighborhood watch signs. Hat turned down.
I just figured he was like Kronk and he's like humming his own theme song as he sneaks.
A lot of people pass by on. Is that Richard Gere? But younger?
Shit. Is that a famous guy?
Misto's bringing in everybody lately. Jesus Christ.
The circus is doing good work.
We can never let them leave town.
Can never let them leave town. Nope. You follow it for quite a bit of a ways. Before the red-haired boy meets up with a young blonde-haired woman. And they go into the bookstore. They go into a bookstore called The Tea and Leaf.
Well, I'd hate to have to make up a story about why the hell I'm going into a bookstore.
Everyone else did.
I'm following an energy like that. Are there any good windows to peek through?
There's you can see two big windows. One big window has like a table in front of it where people can sit down to read. You can, looking in right away, you can see that there is a large doll that is sitting on the table looking out the window. Yes.
I would say if Morgan said it's an emergency, first thing I would have done,
You would have closed the blinds.
close the blinds.
There are blinds.
Not trying to be
There's, like-
antagonistic or anything, but that's
No.
literally-
There's blinds to close, yes, but they've never Quincy keeps them so it keeps the store more they're not
Right.
like blackout curtains. They're
right.
more sort of like a thinner sort of sheer curtain.
Yeah,
You can
that's
see
fine.
through it, but it's not like a good clear view basically.
It's at least it's opaque instead of like
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. You would still see the doll. The doll would still be sitting on that table. And then there is one other window that would be right by the cash register, where you'd be able to see sort of like just in front of the cash register, basically. And then so it's like the window in front of the cash register, the door, which does not have blinds on it, and it's just like a couple little panels on the door, and then there's like that big window with the opaque curtains in it.
just a little. I just picture a little shutter on each of the little things on the door now. Tiny shutters.
Very elaborate shutters.
Actually, if you have something that notices a sort of necromagic kind of feel, you can also feel that magic. It's not as strong as it is from where the building was, but you can feel it a little bit on the doll that you can see in the front window.
So great. It's a bookstore and it gives me the creeps. Hey. Like ripping off a band-aid. And I go to open the door.
It's locked.
Jarnia, would have you have locked it?
It's locked.
Okay, perfect. There's one other thing you could do if you wanted to try and get in there, Ralph, but that's up to you.
Is that energy nearby or is it still moving away?
It's still moving away a little bit. It's not too far. You guess that they're probably going into like the back of the store, maybe.
Once I think they're far enough, I'm breaking into the door, picking the lock.
Okay,
Oh, shit.
awesome. Now you have a skill for that, correct?
I do.
Fucking of course you do.
I love that.
God,
Perfect.
I hope Quincy has good security on this fucking door.
No, it's
Right.
just a regular like
Of course it
deadbolt
is.
lock.
Of course
There's a
it is.
band-aid across the door.
It's just a
Better
rock
than a
behind
Cheeto,
the
I guess.
handle that
That'll-
I was
ties
gonna
it
say,
down.
you know that meme where they're coming in with the battering ram and it's just the Cheeto through the.
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
You prefer actual click clacks or in roll 20?
We've been doing it in roll 20, so we'll do it in roll 20 for now.
All right.
Steve, we fucking
Oh.
love you.
When you break into a secure location, roll
God
plus
damn it, Steve.
on a 7 to 9 pick 2. Okay, so this is your first time rolling with this, but if you look up, you see, so you roll with Sharp, the dice that is directly in front of Sharp, you'll just click that.
Oh.
When it comes up, just leave it at the 0. You don't get a bonus for this. So
Okay.
and then just hit submit. And we'll see what comes up on a 9. All right. So on a 7 to 9, you get to pick 2. Now looking at this, it's you get in undetected, you get out undetected, you don't leave a mess, you find what you were after.
I mean, I'll take get in undetected and find what I'm after.
All right. You
Have I not arrived yet?
No, you're there. Sorry, you are there. You
Oh,
are
I'm
in.
there.
We're
Yes.
inside.
You're
Okay.
inside. You're in the. You guys are. You're. I know. I've pushed it forward. I apologize. You're technically inside. Through away. You guys are going towards the back door. Let's get in undetected and find what you were after. Okay. You get in. No issue. You even realize that the bell that normally would ding to say that somebody was in, you're able to reach up in time to kind of stop that loud ding from the cowbell, and you're able to shut the door behind you, relock it if you so desire, or leave it unlocked. It's up to you.
I'll relock it just to keep things interesting.
Keep things interesting. Perfect. You look around the bookstore. This bookstore has a very old feel to it. There are many bookshelves that are on like old wooden shelves. You can see now, besides just the one doll that was in the window, there are a few more placed around the store. There are, 12 in total. Or you have the feeling that there are 12 in total. You can, going past the bookshelves, you can see bookshelves aren't in order in any way. They're not like alphabetized or anything like that, which is a little strange. But you go to the back where you're still feeling that energy. You come to a door. The door is unlocked. You can easily open it. Looking through it, you can see the redhead and the blonde standing there. When it comes to what you were after, or find what you were after, you see this tall looking sort of creature. He's thin, longer legs, longer arms, and then directly on his face, it is one big red eye. And that is where the big necrotic energy is coming from.
Trying desperately not to make eye contact.
Okay. That is what that's what you were looking for. Is there anything that you would like to do with that information now?
Come on.
Just call
I
out,
feel like
what
you
the
could just
fuck
be-
is that?
Right? I just slowly inching back towards the entrance, like, that's not what I expected at all.
That is the face of a man who doesn't know what he was expecting.
Right?
But it wasn't that!
Exactly.
Went in with low expectations and is not sure if disappointed.
I'm like trying to fumble and remember which portal was which to the place.
Perfect.
Because
Yes.
it's been a few months since we've gone.
A few months. You are easily able to find the rune, Jernia, that you are looking for, and are able to pour in some magic to it, and open the door. The three of you walk through. Within a moment, Ralph, that necrotic energy you felt is gone.
The shit. I immediately go back and check.
You open the door a little bit, take a peer in. All three of the people are missing. They're gone.
I'm gonna have to start knocking on random walls, aren't I?
Oh no.
Oh no. Do you go into the hallway?
Yes.
Okay. Looking in the hallway, you see you know those old like display cases that would display like old china dishes, I guess. You see one of those display cases. There are blank dolls inside of it. They're all white. They have no distinguishing features or anything like the other dolls that you've seen. They also don't have any necrotic energy to
That paints a picture that I don't like either.
them. There's one other bookshelf that has it's another one of those kind of glass display cases that have books inside of them. They have no you can tell that they are old. They have no energy about them that you can tell. Continuing on, there are 2 doors. One door you can see has a lot of different symbols sort of carved into it. The other one has one symbol on it. You're able to easily open that door, and you notice the one door is a bedroom.
Well, that necrotic energy is just gone. Look around, no windows in this hallway.
Nope. The hallway wasn't that deep either. It was probably maybe about 5 feet, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
And there was only the 2 doors. You hit like the dead end and then the 2 doors.
Well,
Left and right.
and you said that there were visible runes on the door, though.
Yes. They're visible. They're not glowing or anything. From what you can tell, you're not 100% sure what any of them mean. You've seen runes, I think, like this before, but they don't have any ties to like necrotic things, necromancy or anything like that.
All right. So it wouldn't be, lack of a better term, cold storage or muffle of the energy.
Mhm. I guess the one question I will ask, do you open that door?
I knock.
Okay. You knock. You can like hear the echo on the other side of the door. That means like there is another room beyond it. Jernia and Morgan,
Oh no.
you're in the main lobby of the house now. You are moving away from the door after having gone through it, with Tall Lad in tow. And you hear a knock on the door.
That doesn't usually happen.
No.
At all. Were we followed? Was anyone behind us?
I'll handle this. And I want to drop my form so that I've got the really big, intimidating, like demon look.
Okay.
And
What are you?
And and I go up to the door and I want to like. Wait, do I have anything that would make it really cool? Hold on.
You guys are back at the mansion, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
One of those Ansel and Cassie are now there to see you guys because you just walked in through the front door and we heard it open.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna.
Vampire and demon him.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
I just wanted to make sure that that's what was happening because Cassie's going to be very confused as to why you're suddenly. I mean, there was a knock on the door. That's weird, but.
First of all, knock, huh? Second of all, demon, huh? Morgan, actually, one question I do want to ask: have you messaged everyone that there is a emergency that's kind of happening?
No, not yet.
Okay. Okay.
So we're just like, oh, is it our monthly team dinner tonight? Did we forget?
All right.
I didn't
I
think
will-
that was till next week.
I'm sorry, but as Morgan's doing this, Jernia has the blade handle and makes the blade out of it, and it's just like, okay, you're going first, but I'm not long behind.
Okay.
Can you
What
make
is going
something?
on?
Can you make that? Can you make something really cool happen, like a lightning bolt or something, like loud and scary?
No, my stuff is more aesthetic.
Okay. Then I got this.
He could make it snow very nicely.
I'm sorry. What is going on?
It's
I'm
Don't
gonna
worry,
go
don't
to
worry.
the door. I'm going to like swing the door open as hard as I can.
Okay.
Wings flared out, like,
snowstorm.
No.
and I want to cast I want to I want to use my mental dominion on him. Just say in my most intimidating voice, "Why have you come here,
Okay.
mortal?"
Just like a light
Okay.
dusting of snow going into the library.
So, first issue.
Mm.
You go to use mental dominion. You realize it doesn't work.
Okay, cool.
First,
Then I'm gonna play it off like I totally didn't do anything.
Ralph, the door swings open really hard, and there is a snowstorm and a demon standing in the doorway. From what you can tell, big wings, tail,
Horns on the forehead, like
horns.
What the? And he takes a step back and takes out a baseball bat.
I love.
that's
I love
not an answer to my question. That seems more like a threat.
You open the door in demon form, and you're worried about him threatening you?
Yeah, this is our territory. This is the demon meeting room.
the demon.
There's only demons in here.
Cassie is so fucking confused.
Are you taking the swing, Ralph?
No, I am not going to swing.
Okay.
I just just a standoff. Like, just
Just like
give me a reason.
take a step forward. I
I'll give
fucking
you a
dare
reason.
you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Are you
No.
okay? Me like, are you actually gonna fight? I remember the last time somebody figured out somebody was a demon. That was fun.
That was not my fault. Somebody literally just shouted, "It's the fucking devil,"
Jason.
and knocked my ass over.
Uh-huh.
I would say it was Morgan's fault because our first encounter it looks like the devil and it's messing with somebody's head. So yeah.
But I wasn't even in devil form. You just see all. You
I
specialize.
see things with my wizard eyes.
After a while, if they're just like looking at each other, like, who is it? You just hear like the mousiest voice behind.
You know,
Peeking
like
around the wing.
cats, like two tomcats just staring at each other but not doing
Yes.
anything.
Mm.
Yeah.
Back to ready to fucking go. Oh gosh.
It's pretty
All
much
right.
what's happening.
This conversation is all yours. Ralph, you see a demon. Morgan, you see a man that your mental dominion did not work on.
Just like a
I'm
head
tracking
peeking
some
behind
weird
Morgan's
energy.
wings, like,
Sounds like you're it. So, more like, what the hell are you doing here? Wait, where is here?
Oh yes, Ralph. From what you can see, when that door opens, there is a large like foyer. Some stairs that go up. You've seen this building. You did like a quick little scope. This building is not that big for that.
Devil's handiwork.
heads.
I'm sorry. Can I please get a fucking explanation about what the fuck is going on?
I
said my part.
I don't even
Who
know who
are
you
you?
are.
just like
So-
point the S-Stock that way. Like,
I
who
think-
are you?
I think perhaps, sir, you need to start with answering that question about who the fuck you are.
The least intimidating person here with like a daw and a rapier just going like this.
maybe we should try this again later. And he closes the door.
No.
Leans in a little bit, shuts the door.
I was here to
Jernia-
sell Girl Scout cookies, but y'all ain't interested.
Jernia is now personally offended, and is walking back in towards the bookstore by herself if need be.
Ralph, are you going for the front door?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
I'm
hold
closing
on,
the doors
you broke into
behind me.
my fucking bookstore. I would like to try to use magic to stop him.
Okay. What would you like to do?
Freeze him in his tracks.
This
You want to
is
freeze his
already a
legs?
fucking disaster.
Yeah, this is an introduction and a
It's a form
half.
of
Morgan
magic.
meets anybody ends up this way.
True. All right.
I'm
you
not even blaming Morgan this time. This is not his fault.
Oh, it's not his fault, but it's just, it happens.
But he's a
Gasoline
good
on
person
the
to
fire.
blame.
It is. Well, it's true, right? You open the door open, or you meet this fucking devil coming off a motorcycle. Yeah.
okay?
can
You
start
want to
stuff.
try and freeze him in his tracks? Use
How
magic.
prejudice. Looks like prejudice against demons.
What
Prejudice.
the hell happened to my stuff?
Demonist.
Alright, it's weird. Rolling weird. God damn it.
Oh,
Oh fuck.
that was almost perfect, Sissy. Almost.
Almost.
Ralph, you're making your way to the front door. You've almost got your hand on it, remembering that you have to unlock it. And you go to take another step, and you can't. You're stuck.
It's not quite The Shining.
No, you look down, and your feet are frozen in place.
I'm not even trying to do harm. It's just keeping him in place.
You are mine. You will do what I command you. Ugh.
Leave the shoes behind, run out barefoot.
What comes off? What are you doing in my bookstore?
Tracking your apparently weird little dead babies.
What? My what?
Excuse me?
You want to run that by me again?
I'm sorry. What?
You got
Did y'all follow me?
dolls left and right. You got the
Well, I mean, the door's not closed.
all-seeing
That's true.
thing rings with dead energy all over the place.
How would you even be able to determine that? What
I
are
have
you?
a very good nose.
So do I.
Then why do you keep asking who I am?
If you're hiding something, I know people who can find out.
Takes out your flip phone menacingly.
I know people.
I will call the manager.
No.
The manager in this case would probably be James.
Why was I not able to do something completely non-harmful to you telepathically?
Maybe you're just bad at it. I don't know.
Excuse me? Motherfucker.
Okay. Take a little second here because I remember Stuart was saying that he was going to go visit some friends in town. Stuart, are you going to the good old familiar bookstore?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly for the free coffee.
Mostly for the free coffee.
That's valid.
You're not wrong, it's there.
Yeah.
As you do get to the bookstore, you notice that the curtains mostly drawn. The bookstore is kind of in darkness. You get up to the door, you try it, it's locked,
Everyone hears
but
the
you
door
do
open.
hear voices.
Okay.
Okay.
Stuart's gonna look through the little mail slot and just be like, "Hey, you guys, open up!"
My fucking-
He jumps. Rob's just jumping like You got weirdos crawling out of the woodwork here. I'm
Knowing-
trying.
Knowing exactly who it is.
Deal, and if we let him in, he's gonna fuck you up. So you better start talking.
Yeah, exactly. You, look,
Stuart's little hands going in through the mail slot, just like.
He's getting hungry.
You guys got coffee and tea this time?
he's getting hungry.
Blood and organs.
I hope you made the croissants today. Okay.
Look, give us something we can work with.
All right. Let's all take a breather.
You are already chilling.
He takes 1 damage.
Little icicle.
Look,
Yes.
I am looking to see if there is any threat to my person, and if there is, I will eliminate that threat.
No one's doing
I
anything
have
to
a
you
feeling-
here. Listen, you
Yeah.
came into my bookstore. I am defending myself.
You guys having a party in there?
No court will convict me.
Other than maybe witchcraft.
You're not here. Shut up.
Well, speaking of James, what are you up
Yeah.
to right now?
Mhm.
You've been working
Well, I
on
don't
your
know. Was this one of the days that I was going to go poke around in the mansion's library?
That's the question.
Because he has had something he's been intending to do. He wants to get the names of all those other hunters.
Yeah.
And find out how long they lived, how their lives turned out. How many of them died in the line of duty?
Okay. Yeah, you
What's the
can
mortality
definitely.
rate.
What's the
Exactly.
mortality rate of this job?
Better or
Um,
worse than crab fishing?
Okay, yeah, you can. If you'd like, this can be one of those days that you go to the bookstore to get that information.
Okay. Then he's pulling in his truck and he just sees Stuart down there at the mail slot.
Just like moving his fingers
Hey,
aside.
hey, James! Give me a hand here! They're throwing a party without us! You're an asshole, James!
James, you can hear the voices inside as well. You do notice that the bookstore is closed up, it seems like, but you hear the voices on the other side of the door.
Kind of leans
Journey on
down
her
to
end, pulls out the key, and it's like, last chance. Quite sorry.
Journey or Quincy, are y'all in there? You know, Stuart, they really need to give us keys.
Yeah, they do. This
No,
is
they
kind of
don't.
stupid, isn't it?
Last chance. Well, give me a name. Give me a name.
Ralph.
Ralph. Okay, Ralph. Last chance, Ralph, before I open this door, and whoever is on that other side probably isn't gonna like you for breaking into my store.
None of you like me. I don't care.
Fair enough.
I told
Unlocks
you
the door.
already. If I am looking.
Oh, thank God!
Give us a sec. We're in the middle of looks back. Something.
All right, cool. And Stuart's just gonna pour himself a drink.
There's just a dude like
Behold
taking
Real
the
casual.
front.
He's used to all the weird stuff that everyone gets into now.
Got that?
There's
James, if you could come over here though, I could use you and your talents.
I turn my eyes on. Careful not to look at the dolls too closely.
Okay. Give me just a second. I do want to. Okay. So that. James, you don't see what he is exactly. You can tell that the necklaces he is wearing do emit some sort of magic over him.
Now, is Ralph frozen in place, or is it just his feet are anchored?
Just his feet.
Just
Okay. In that case, I don't approach him. There's something about the jewelry he's wearing.
Oh,
There's some kind of effect on it.
what is with you? What is with you on like special jewelry?
Some people like to accessorize.
I guess. Well,
I protect my person. I am here to defend my person. If you are
Well,
not a threat, none of you are a threat.
you broke
you can
into my
convince me that-
place of employment.
Your employment does not matter to anyone here.
Is Morgan
I
still
have
all
no
demoned out?
choice.
Yes.
Morgan, are
That's
you still
why I
leaving
was.
yet?
Okay, yes. James,
Don't tell me
give
this
Morgan a look.
demon boy
You
reads
just do that in
books.
front of any stranger that comes into the store?
He didn't come into the store. He followed us to the mansion.
He broke
That
in.
was a mansion?
So what are you doing here? And I try to go into his head.
We've been trying to ask him that for like 10 minutes now.
He's been vague about it. He's been pretty vague about it.
Okay.
Look, I sensed your weird one-eyed friend, and I wanted to make sure he wasn't gonna eat me in my sleep.
He's literally going. You can see he's literally going the opposite direction of you.
So
You're
if you
the one
saw a
that
tiger
pursued
in the
him.
woods, you would follow it home to make sure it didn't eat you.
If it's roaming around my hometown, I want to make sure the threat is neutralized.
This is your hometown? I've never seen you before.
This is not his hometown. I've lived here my entire life. I don't know.
Sorry.
Damn, James.
I've lived here my whole life. I've never seen you, and he's lived here his whole life, and he's probably never seen you.
All right, I'm shacking up here for a while.
So is
And
everybody
I don't want
here.
trouble to just appear on my doorstep.
You're in the wrong place for that, buddy.
Apparently.
Where is this conversation taking place?
In the bookstore?
like, the
Right
front-
next to the front
the
door,
front of the TV
apparently.
by the door.
Okay, so the in the door. So I'm sort of hearing this, but not really because I'm basically
Right.
propping the magic door open.
You're like a door and a half away.
Okay.
You said something about sleep or dreams. Is something threatening you in your sleep or dreams?
I say a lot of things.
Continue saying them.
Yeah, that's gotten me a lot of friends here.
We haven't killed you.
Now that, and he points his bat, is a good point.
Point my stock at him.
All right. Puts his trusty weapon away.
Thank you. If you start saying things I like, I might melt the ice for you.
I
We'll see.
can smell when you're lying. Just so you know.
I wish I could make you do an intimidation or a deception check for that. I swear to God.
I wish there was insight
Manipulate
checking in the
someone.
system.
It'd be manipulate someone.
That's true. Oh yeah, you're right. That's true.
Not to interrupt all your questioning, but perhaps he might be more inclined to answer your questions if he were a little bit more comfortable. Perhaps over a cup of coffee.
All right,
Seated in
here,
a
I got
chair.
you covered. Stuart's gonna pour him a cup. Here, bud.
Here's your cup of coffee.
And perhaps
Is this
not
how you guys
in
treat
the
all your intruders?
perhaps not
called
in the
being a
bookstore.
welcoming host.
Where
Let
anybody could request access to the bookstore while you're questioning him.
that's
God,
fair.
I'd hate to find another me here.
You're really not helping your case.
Another you?
Mm.
Oh, good God.
Here's what's gonna happen. This is my place. I am taking management of this place and the situation here. Here's what's gonna happen. We will lead you where you desire to go, apparently. I will unfreeze you here. If you don't like the answers, you can leave. Or if we don't like the answers, we're gonna let you leave. We won't kill you. Maybe.
Yeah, alright. That seems amicable enough.
One more thing. I'm gonna hold your bat for now.
Fine.
I take the bat. I take the bat. I go do. I lock the door again. Make sure everything's situated. Is there like some sort of? Is there any evidence that he like busted the lock or something, or did he just like pick?
Nope. There is no.
So
there
it's just like
are
it's just a
absolutely
door.
0 damage on the door.
Okay. And I just lock. I lock the door. I'm gonna ask you how you did that later, and I will unmelt. I'll unmelt his feet and then kind of guide him towards the door, the open door, a door and a half away from.
All right. Perfect. I will also just say this out loud. James, whenever you try to dwell into Ralph's mind, his mind is blocked from you. From what you can tell, his magical items does seem to give him a sort of protection, and the other one seems to cover his appearance. Just to say it out loud for everything, because you asked out loud, and we didn't get the chance to it. Ralph, you are being led into the back hallway, and through the door you had initially knocked on. You can feel the magic wash over you as you go through the door. It's like a quick veil. And you find yourself in a large foyer. You see a tall man who seems to have been just keeping the attention of the little tall eyeball creature that you had seen before. Just kind of distracting it. Almost as if it was like a sort of like a child. A very tall child.
Alright.
But as you walk in, you can see the stairs that go up to a second floor. You also see you can see from underneath that it looks like there's even a third floor to this building. There are a lot of pictures around this foyer. Foyer. I feel like I keep saying that word wrong. There are two large hallways that go to the left and the right. And then under that like initial set of stairs, there's a couch or two and a large fireplace.
Have a seat, and we will talk.
Then we will talk.
Are we sure Mr. Ralph here is not a what's it? He's got something hiding his appearance.
So do half of us.
No, none of us. The only one of us who has anything hiding their appearance is Morgan.
And my
I'm
unibrow that I
trying
shave.
to do something here. Stop that.
What? How are you expecting this man to trust us if you're gonna lie to him?
You lying to us?
Because would you
I'm
tell
gonna
the
match
truth to
the li-
somebody that you don't trust? Or that you
No,
don't
but also
know?
wouldn't break into their house.
He broke into my store. How many times do I have to keep saying that?
And he broke into your store, why? Because he could sense a small boy over there who's no longer quite so small and is definitely taller than I am.
Yeah.
And how many people in this world do you think there are that could track that? He is yes, James, we are aware that you are one of them.
That's already how much? How many of us are there? There's 6 of us.
There
Yeah,
are
but
6 of you.
Yeah, I think we actually got the
Cassie-
entire party together first session this time.
Cassie,
Yeah, we did.
That's That's
Wow.
1/3 of the people who do that.
Yeah, Cass, every month or so we meet someone else who can do this stuff.
He's got a point.
The number's gotta be higher than the books say.
I don't disagree, but if you really think about it, compared to the number of people that are in this world, it's but a mere drop. So, as I was saying, coffee
Or tea.
or tea? Water if you prefer, if you don't want something warm.
Coffee's good. Coffee's good. Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Cassie. And yours?
Ralph.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Ralph. I'll be right back. just for your own sanity and protection, Ralph, I would suggest that you start telling the truth. I may be reasonable, but, well... And
Yes,
she just kind of
Cassie?
leaves it at that.
Yes,
she
Cassie?
doesn't say anything else, she just leaves it at that and walks out to go basically get a pot of coffee, thing of tea, cups, and then would bring it back out on a tray.
My favorite thing
Everybody.
is for your safety, I suggest you telling the truth when you've kind of sort of kidnapped the man.
Well, he kind of sort of broke in, so, you know.
That's true.
Again,
It's more of a
again.
citizen's arrest at this point.
Oh yes, I'm sure that's gonna hold up with Logan. I'm sure Logan's gonna believe that.
Hey, Logan, I kind of had to free somebody in place. What?
Shrugging smiley face.
Yeah. You're right. Logan only talks in emojis.
He only talks in emojis because it's usually Kiwi that answers his phone. Wasn't that what we determined?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I said out loud, but y'all characters. Oh, wait, no, Logan, I think, did say that out loud.
He did.
But sorry, continuing conversation at hand.
Alright, I guess I get to go first. That's fine, I guess. I hate to say it this way, but I can't think of any other way. You're more normal than I thought that you would be.
Okay.
James just looks over at Morgan when he says that.
He called you all base.
Continue.
I won't bore you with the sob story, but I am essentially on the run from scarier stuff than you all. And I want to hedge my bets.
What are you running from?
I'm not supposed to still be alive.
Oh, it's another dead one.
Yeah, we got a few of those.
Yeah, I can tell.
At this point, Cassie would be back with the coffee and tea. Pours Ralph his coffee before asking the others what they would like. She vaguely
Thank you.
remembers that Jarnia prefers tea, but would sometimes drink coffee if she so desired, so not going
Tea.
to assume. Yeah. Once
Tea,
everybody
please.
has a cup, she just sits down.
Oh, this is good. Continue.
I wasn't supposed to be free?
Free?
And I use the same skills that I used to get in here to find certain items that let me not be under their control.
Under whose control?
The big bads. I tell you, I don't want to get with the sob story here. It's kind of stupid.
Well, unfortunately, we aren't going to be able to help you if you don't tell us.
Stupid's kind of what we do.
I mean,
Okay, stupid's what some of you do. Unfortunately, I do have to lump myself in with that group that stupid is what we normally do, and I hate it, but, I mean...
You draw any circles lately, Cass?
Shut up, Stuart. Shut up.
I will not.
It was your idea.
Did it?
Continue.
At this point, I'm just trying to make sure there's nothing that'll let me be found by essentially the necromancer who is tracking me. Trying to track me. I've not made it easy.
Well then.
So were you like a zombie or something?
Yeah, let's go with that.
So
A lich?
I feel like if he was a lich, that perhaps this wouldn't be such a problem for him.
Fair enough.
However, what exactly are
Good
you?
idea.
You're saying
Oh,
like a zombie, but if you were like a zombie, you would not be this articulate.
I'm a
I mean,
very
that's
pretty
cool.
zombie.
I was gonna say that's what you kind of guessing at that point.
It's a
You
little
haven't met
racist.
very many zombies.
It's a little racist.
A zombie, you look a lot like Richard Gere.
Now I
That's
know
really
he's
cool.
alive.
I get that a lot.
I bet you do.
So what exactly are
Doppelganger,
you?
you know. I'd like to play some cards a little bit closer to my chest here. I mean, I'm not getting any answers from you all.
I literally showed you that I'm a demon.
And
Yeah,
I
that
don't
went
know
over
if we
well.
can get
To be fair,
a little more personal.
you also haven't asked any questions either.
Yeah.
I don't have a question, more it's just an observation. I've seen your face before.
That's
I have.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
In a very weird dream I had.
I get that a little less often. It's a little creepy, but all right.
You were dead.
Yeah, have you not been listening at all?
Oh yeah, that's totally normal. I had a dream last night about somebody I'd never met, and all of a sudden I'm telling you some really important information that I had a premonition about you, and you're like, oh, why are you paying attention?
Sorry,
mentioned that
so it's a
he's-
premonition now, or is it just that you know that I'm dead?
Wait. In the dream, was he like walking around dead like he is now, or laying on the ground dead?
Somebody was carrying him.
Hmm.
He was just a corpse being carried.
Okay, that sounds like laying down dead.
Yeah.
Well, that's less good.
They warned me about something in that dream. There was lots of
Bad coffee?
Excuse you.
Not here. If this was bad coffee, apparently I'd be dead already.
You're awfully
Which,
glib for
notice
somebody
not poison.
who's...
Thank you for
Hey.
that.
You're awfully glib for somebody at a disadvantage.
And yet, here I am.
Well, you've answered our questions, even if maybe not quite as succinctly as we would have cared for. But fair's fair. So, ask your
What,
questions.
What is the story of this? You gotta be better than Scooby-Doo gang here with all the bells and whistles going on. You trying to bunker down here too, or you got other? Oh God, did I get more heat here? You guys got more big bads you're cowering from?
Well, we just finished handling what we could quantify as an ancient evil of some kind. Would turn people to stone in an attempt to elongate its own life. We handled it.
That is impressive if true. Go on.
Well, have you heard about the sawmill that was recently torn down?
I've heard stories.
Yes, it was in that mill, and we managed to take care of it without going into details, of course.
Fair.
And for my own part, I've been involved with the supernatural since I was a teenager, and I'm approaching mid-20s now.
I've been doing this all my death.
Ha.
How long's that been?
Well, in all, or at least most honesty, good few months now.
Do you remember how you died?
Haven't really tried thinking of it. No.
Do you remember a fire?
No.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's making me more concerned. You have these visions often?
No, it was just a really weird dream. I woke up and I had this, and I'll show them the thing on my forearm, the rune on my forearm.
Does Journey recognize it?
You notice it as a protection rune. James,
Okay.
even you recognize this from all of your notes and studies. It's not this. You've seen actually, Jardio, you've seen this on Quincy.
Mm-hmm.
But Morgan's looks more like it had been initially carved into his skin instead of inked.
Does it have a magical effect on it?
Yes, there's a faint magical effect on it. You can tell that this symbol, the way this has worked, has actually the way it's constantly feeding magic to Morgan, and it has taken something away from him to keep that magical effect going.
I'm sure it's fine. He doesn't even know about it.
Apologies, Ralph. Just one moment, and we'd be more than happy to continue answering your questions. Morgan, y'all were coming here. Why?
Quincy, he recommended that I bring Tallboy to the mansion to be protected. And he told me to tell a couple of my friends to leave town.
Alright. So you were bringing him here to hide him away?
Yes.
Alright. And that has to do with the premonition that you're talking about.
I think so.
Do you remember anything at all?
I remember it was like a dining room or something, a very big table. With empty chairs. And then there was a woman, I believe a woman named Odette. And then there was a big fire and a house burning to the ground. I think it was a house. And all of you guys were in the fire.
Like fighting it, or
Yeah.
cool.
That's concerning.
And
It's very concerning.
But he was, and I point at Ralph. He was dead and being carried, and being carried by this large looming figure who was quite shredded. He was very attractive.
Is that my brother? Was he wearing a leotard?
He was not wearing anything.
Well, Bruno's
He's like,
pretty bashful. He wouldn't do that.
He was sort of dissipated. Like parts of his body were obstructed, like I couldn't see.
The room that you were in, do you remember what it looked like?
I can remember the table and the 3 empty chairs, and There
And
were
a
others, I
woman
think. There
named
were others
Odette.
talking. And there was one named Odette.
Okay.
And I was really small for some reason.
Is it possible that this was perhaps a memory?
I don't know.
Well, it's something to start on. Anyway, perhaps we can figure this out, and perhaps it'll solve your problem, Ralph.
That'd be nice. Been a while since I actually had allies.
Well, you
Let's
still broke
start,
into my place.
Let's start with acquaintances, and then we'll see if we turn into allies.
I didn't say friends.
I know what I
You're
said.
right. We're lower than that right now. I want that to be perfectly clear.
Look, it's one of those that, to be fair, you did break into the bookshop. So we are curious in regards to helping you, or at least I am. I will not speak for the others. But if you're bringing some sort of necromancer to this town, well, that's not copacetic.
If we kill the necromancer, are you gonna die again?
Is your ability to stay alive tied to that necromancer? As Janya said. Sorry, I apologize.
You know, I haven't tried. We can try killing him and find out.
Is that your wish to die again?
No, but I got some, my money's on the stuff that I took from him.
And
Okay.
what did you take from him?
The stuff that keeps me alive
Oh, well,
and not under his control.
well, see, now that just sounds like if we destroy the necromancer, then you would be fine. If you're gaining your ability to move and live from magical items, then I believe that answers our question. However,
As
So
far as I know.
have.
go ahead, Janya.
I just want to know, out of pure morbid curiosity now.
Good
there
word
anything-
choice.
Yes. Is there anything you're hiding behind your face? I guess. Is there some-
Their face?
Right. I'm curious to see what it looks like. Again, the morbid curiosity getting the better of me.
I appreciate that, but I'm shy.
My God, Chanya, you can't just ask people to take off their face.
I'm a bit shy.
I'm a bit shy.
Well, then perhaps we shall work up to that then.
Okay.
Well, just answer this: is the Richard Gere face a completely fake face, or is that what you look like when you were alive?
That's a real question.
That's as far
Sounds
as
good,
I can
Richard
remember, completely fake face.
Okay.
First thing that came to mind, really.
That was the first face that came to your mind?
Yeah, not like Keanu or something.
Maybe you
Well,
really like Pretty
hang
Woman.
on,
Huh?
hang on. Perhaps it was
That's fair.
perhaps it was Richard Gere's movies that he watched a lot when he was alive. So that was naturally the face that first came to mind. We can't blame him just because our first instinct would be go to Keanu Reeves.
I like her. She speaks sense.
Pretty. It's like pretty. It's the Pretty
Staring
Woman
at
generation
Julia.
versus the Matrix
thought you-
generation.
I thought you were talking about Keanu Reeves for a second. It's like, her? Okay.
The eye in the sky is so fucking done with us right now.
Does anyone else feel like God's really pissed most of the time when we get together?
I feel like this was face palming.
Yeah.
Mm,
That's a oddly specific thing for you to think up, Stuart.
I don't know. It just came to me, like
You know,
Richard Gere or something.
I have to agree, Stuart. I think perhaps that this being in the sky that watches over all of us, Might go
It's
to
just
bed
gonna
tonight.
fight you down.
Might go to bed tonight with a very severe headache, but I'm not sure why. Just
I
got
feel
this
like we're all gonna
feeling,
die
you know?
My players. That fire happening.
I was gonna
Checkmark.
say, well, if it's anything like that dream I had, I was okay though. I was on this.
Oh, gee
You were
whiz.
in the fire. You just couldn't as you were watching.
Not to them, I wasn't.
So basically, we need to install a sprinkler system in here.
Everyone
Hey,
keep
joke
water
to you.
pistols on you.
Full of holy water.
Am I a joke to you?
No,
It took me a
Janya,
second.
I don't think any of us consider you a joke.
Maybe the punchline.
Goodness gracious.
Alright. So, I think that's where we are. Ansel and I will look after your charge, Morgan. Since I figure you're going to want to go spend.
Your charge. Y'all, all of y'all parents.
Well, I
All
mean,
of y'all are parents.
yeah, but it's
We're
small boy spends the most time with Morgan.
it's very cohabitative.
That's true.
We get them for the weekends, you know. More gets them most of the week.
Yeah, it just rotates weekends.
Yeah.
I think perhaps then, if y'all are staying for dinner, I just need to know how many I'm cooking for. You know, typically cooking for one, so. Sorry, before I say that, Q, have to ask. Vampires in your world eat human food or no?
They can eat on human food, but they can't survive solely on it.
'Kay.
It's like a treat.
Yeah, no,
Every once in a while.
I'm curious because I know that there are some where it's
They
just
do
like,
it
no,
to
they
appear
have
normal.
Okay.
It's like when we eat dog food.
As a treat.
Yeah, exactly. You're right, Stuart. You're right. Thank you.
Jesus Christ. I've been
No.
mostly. Fuck. I've been.
You guys never just tear open a can and go to town? Like, come on.
No.
Meats me.
Yeah.
Depends on how depressed I am.
Does Ralph even eat?
That face, like.
I've
God's
been.
really pissed with us.
I've been mostly cooking for one these days, so I just need to know how many are staying.
Oh God.
Hey, hang on. I'm not over dog food. Did Stuart say this out loud?
yeah. Stuart absolutely said that out loud.
You know, circus folks and carnies, eh?
I'll ignore that slight. Just because I love you, James.
Do you have like a
Hold up the gun.
preference? Like, are you a pedigree, an IAMS, Benful?
Oh,
Like,
Oh, just, you know, whatever the clowns give me. Force me to eat, you know.
Oh, hey, the clowns that usually force
Oh,
you
yeah.
to eat dog food aren't.
Three of
Go
the
ahead,
clowns. Madam Spinoli asked me, 3 of the clowns. You guys see clowns lately?
Just this guy here, pointing
What?
at Ralph.
Oh, yeah. Burn. But no, I'm missing 3 clowns. You guys see clowns?
I honestly have not seen your clowns. I'm sorry.
Alright.
Would they be wandering around town in full makeup or?
God only knows. God?
Fuck. Sometimes they'd walk in makeup. If they had it on, they'd just leave it on. But if you can usually tell which one the clowns are because even when they're not in makeup, they've got like remnants of makeup left on their face, or maybe they've got like red stained. James, you would very quickly be able to like read them and figure out that they were the clowns from the circus kind of thing.
Okay.
So yeah. I mean, they're probably around town somewhere. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Like, keep an eye out, but, you know.
The clowns. Amazing. All right. You guys are having dinner together tonight? Ralph, are
yeah.
you staying?
Am I being detained for dinner?
Hell yeah.
Am I being detained?
The offer is open. If you would like to eat a home cooked meal, you don't have to pay for.
If you're capable of eating.
If you're capable of eating.
You can just push it around with the fork if you want.
She is
I would
not.
prefer you don't.
She is
I mean, I
not going to assume because she wants. She likes to think that she is accepting of everybody regardless of what they are. Which, I mean, she is, really. But she's not going to assume that you do or do not eat. So, the offer is open if you wish to stay for a home-cooked meal you don't have to pay for. If you eat. And if not, you're welcome to stay anyway and hang out.
I think that's an offer I shouldn't refuse. Thank you.
All right.
Fuck you,
Yeah, that's
Jason.
Pickles right there. Exactly what he looks
That is Puddles, you uncultured.
Oh, I love
Viking.
Puddles.
Love
Yeah,
Puddles so
I'm
much.
saying that's what
I
the
figured somebody would
Pickles
recognize
clown
it.
looks like.
Pickles
Yeah.
look like puddles.
Pickles looks like
Mm.
Puddles.
One of my
Yeah.
By the
friends
way, the
knows
paint
him.
still works.
The saddest clown with the voice of an angel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Puddles wouldn't do that.
Puddles
That's
wouldn't.
rude. Puddles
Don't
is
play
also
my man
rude.
Puddles like that.
Yeah,
Okay, fine. Pickles doesn't look like Puddles then. Sorry.
thank you.
All right. You are all able to sit down, eat, enjoy food. If you would so like to enjoy food. The small little eyeball boy, he doesn't stay in the kitchen to eat. He just he goes somewhere. You guys are able to have idle conversation. Ralph, I'm not too sure if you'd ask questions about the house, or if they would let you explore the house. Would they let you explore the house? That's a good question. Everybody.
No.
Well, Jeremy says no, but everyone
No.
else.
No.
I don't know if we're that level of friendly with him.
Not yet.
We're at barely letting him live level right now.
Oh, that's a little mean.
Huh. Journey is
I-
so aggressive this game.
Yeah,
I'm loving it.
dang.
Broke
It's like-
into my.
He didn't trash anything though.
To be fair,
You rolled high enough,
I
so we didn't
knocked.
have to.
But he clearly would have if he'd had to.
Oh yeah.
We don't know that.
Oh.
not trying.
I'm just on
In
pictures
all
of the
honesty,
clown
I
pictures now.
probably made more of a mess than
Man, those are some unhappy clowns. Cassie would be more than happy to share with Ralph, kind of just what she knows of the supernatural, which is fairly extensive, and so she's giving, like, the Cliff Notes version of everything she's learned, which is still extensive.
I mean, first and foremost, Ralph would be asking about, like, okay, so what's the deal with the... I mean, sometimes you treat him like your kid, sometimes you treat him like, I don't know, your dog. What is the eyeball friend?
Well, we don't actually have a name for him. We've been sort of just calling him Small Boy, but he really isn't so small anymore. I mean, he towers over me, and I mean, I'm not that short for a woman, but
But he has grown.
yes.
We've been feeding him.
Typically,
that's-
after consuming some
He's
form of
drinking his
magic.
milk.
So he's growing in power
Maybe?
We
that you
haven't-
can contain?
Well,
Maybe.
I'm gonna have to go with James on that one. It's a maybe. We're really not sure. This is sort of new territory for all of us. None of us have ever encountered anything like it. And the one that
Well,
did is currently on the run from the cops, and Lord knows what sort of demons. So, yeah, we're really not sure.
This is my confident face.
To be fair, he has never attempted to harm any of us.
He mostly just
No.
eats Oreos all day.
Nor has he attempted to harm anybody in town. Matter of fact, he proved quite useful in dealing with that ancient evil, in so much as to help a little girl that was in the process of being consumed.
He used to be a cat.
He used to be cat-sized, yes.
Like a small lynx.
We're keeping an eye on it, believing on the idea of nurture versus nature and some such.
I'll
Teach him to be
try
good,
not
and he
to
will
take
be
it
good.
off. Him. I'm gonna go with him. Him.
I've sort of
Him's
settled on
fine.
him myself. We have no way to tell.
Honestly,
That's
everybody's
fair.
been genuinely nicer than Vinny was to him, so. not
We're all
me.
genuinely nicer than Vinny was.
None of us have thrown him yet.
True.
And
I don't think anybody could.
Nobody,
really
none of
throw
us have
him,
offered
no.
people cannolis and then not come through. So
True.
That's true, too.
Fair. So
And
besides breaking and entering, what do you do? Like what sort of, so we all have, things that bring us to this proverbial table here. That one's a crack shot. That one's, I don't know, psychic.
who are you labeling as the crack shot? I'm curious.
You.
Thank you.
That one's, well, you saw what he is. And Stuart's just the best.
Ah.
all right.
So and you've seen what I can do to, well, you.
she's watched
I-
Frozen a time or two too many.
So what do you do?
Scavenge.
Scavenge?
Wow, you sounded
Yeah.
like a lot of the guys that run the stalls at the circus.
I mean, if it ain't being used, it needs to be used, right? So, waste not, want not. Find a magic thing, can make use of it, I make use of it.
Okay, I was afraid you were going somewhere vulture like.
Opposite. Yeah. I was quite. I
Oh,
thought
well,
the exact
this
same
guy's
thing.
dead. He's not using that body. Nom, 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 nom.
No, I'm not one of the Edie types of undead. Undead?
But-
Am I? Whatever.
If you were dead at one point and you're not dead, you are technically
Re-dead.
undead. Or if you were dead at one point and you are no longer dead, you're kind of undead. It's kind of how it works. Mostly.
How about we go with undercooked?
Undercooked. I hate that.
Good, I love it.
Do you have a preferred name or do you just prefer Ralph?
Ralph's fine. Works for
Okay.
me for as long as I can remember.
Okay. Do you just have memories of when you were, as you were?
I remember
Undercooked?
being Ralph.
Do you remember being alive?
You remember that I have a certain set of skills, I use them, and I am Ralph.
Fair enough. You're Ralph. There's no insight check in Monster of the Week. This is bullshit.
Nope.
It'd probably be investigate a mystery or read a bad.
Investigate a mystery.
Yeah. Read a bad situation. That would be fun.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Ralph. No hard feelings about the whole freezing you in place thing. You were just, breaking and entering. It's the snap decision I have to make. I'm gonna hold that over you for a while. You'll have to forgive me.
We'll see.
Okay.
But
Oh,
you were just defending yourself, and we were both just defending
like you
ourselves,
said,
I guess.
Yeah.
There's that.
Speaking on that, and she finally pulls out your bat and says, "Here, you can have this back."
Oh, well, thank you. Hope I don't have to use it anytime soon.
Narrator voice, you have to use that next session.
I didn't say that. You guys finish dinner, talk more, kind of get to know Ralph a little bit more. Night falls. Does anybody want to do anything in the house?
No, James was going to do his research, so he'd be
Yeah,
taking
James
down
is doing
names
his
so he can
research.
figure out who died in the line of duty.
Perfect. You notice going through most of them, if there was a death at a younger, or any deaths actually, were usually for the to the cause of whatever creature they were hunting. They're not often. Like if I had to use like 100 people, there are quite a bit of people in this library. A lot of them are deceased at old ages,
Mhm.
and all of them are very like they're like years and years and years ago. There are a couple that are at younger ages. There's also a couple that you realize have not been marked as deceased. But if they probably should have been marked because they would have been like 120 years old at this point. You're kind of guessing at that point that that's when they stopped paying attention to or they stopped keeping track of the names and who was being deceased, or that's when things started to like break off.
Or they were some kind of Watsons.
Yep.
Old age and all.
Most of the like there are two organizations. There's the human there's like the more of the humans list, and there's more of the sort of creatures list. Most of the creatures list has a good chunk of them marked as still alive, and you're kind of guessing that that's just because of that could be of longer lifespans, or that's also that they haven't been marking them.
Mhm.
A lot of the humans have lived long lives. It even says that some retired after like in later years of their life. There are a couple where they have died like under 40, and there are only 2 that have died like around the age of 20. They mark it as a creature related death.
Okay.
You from what you're looking at and from what you're guessing, they're prepared to make sure that everyone gets out of hunts alive.
That's if they've been properly trained, and we just kind of stumbled into the house and started using their stuff. So
Yeah.
I wanted to go into the library and kind of like see if there's anything regarding the undead.
Okay.
Just because it came up in topic.
Just like the undead in like in
Just
general.
In general, like different types that other hunters would have encountered, stuff like that.
Yeah, you can find quite a bit. There's like Salem ghosts.
Mhm.
You can see information on like skeletons, zombies, vampires technically count as part of the undead.
Sure.
There are a lot of different other things as well that count as undead, and then there's talk of necromancy magic, necrotic magic. There's not a lot on it, but from what you can guess, maybe that's just a lot of the hunters never really, if they were magically inclined, would focus on necrotic magic.
Right. Or they'd probably keep that shit secret.
Yep.
Sure. Fair enough.
There's some writing in there. You actually recognize a bit of the writing as Quincy's.
Of course.
But it's not a lot. It's definitely a lot of prolonging life. There is also some talk about sealing souls, but there's also talk about a way to easily break that as well if needed.
Mhm.
So it's more or less like a
So break the seal as in break the bond, or like
the bond.
destroy the person.
Break the bond. He mentions that the soul needs to be tied to something of like material plane, basically. So like a house, a book, a locket, a doll.
Interesting. Huh. Good book. Gonna
Mhm.
kind of memorize a few tidbits of it and
Mhm.
then take my bed.
Is anybody sending Ralph home? Are you guys forcing him, or quote unquote forcing him to stay here?
He can
for the
he
night?
can leave to the forest if he wants.
You're an asshole.
This would have been what our the others going home is basically using up the third use of the door for the day, right?
Check it.
It would technically be the second.
It's open close.
You opened it and closed it to walk
Mhm.
through. He knocked on it.
Yes, but there's a period of time where it will stay open
Oh.
from that first mark.
Okay, sorry, thank you. So basically, we're on our third use then for the day?
No, you're on your second.
On the second use. Okay, sorry. Just wanted to make sure I was.
No. Because you
Caught up.
opened it, shut it. There's about a 3-hour period
We're
where you can
opening
use the
and
door again.
okay, gotcha.
where
Okay.
opening and closing it will not cause an issue.
Okay. I mean, Cassie says that there's plenty of rooms at the house if he would like to stay there for the night instead. But if he's got another room, then basically he would just
Another
leave the
room
way he came in.
Where all his stuff is, basically.
Basically, it's just one of those, like, if you want to stay here, you're welcome to. But if you have another room, the door's over there, and we'll make sure you can get out.
Oh, I'll go back and get my stuff, but I probably I guess meet up with y'all tomorrow. Unless hostile terms.
This time, not.
The first time, you mean? Not the second door.
On the front door.
Ah,
Perhaps then, shall we meet at the coffee shop for, say, 10 tomorrow?
Coffee shop.
Yeah, there's a coffee shop
Yeah.
in town.
Sure.
It's like a little bistro. James has been there before. It's
Yeah,
across the
right.
street from the police station.
all right.
I'll meet y'all there for 10. I think I need to pick up. She kind of like stops for a second. No, I'm gonna need to go get groceries, so. I'll meet y'all for 10.
Okay.
Cassie stays. She goes to bed. Journia, you're staying in the mansion.
I'll send the mention.
Ralph is leaving. Stuart, Morgan, James.
James will go home.
James will go home. Okay.
Is Ansel still up?
Yeah, and Ansel will stay up.
Stuart's
For
gonna
quite a
hang out with
while.
Ansel for a bit and then go home.
Okay. Okay.
It's becoming a throuple. Just give it time.
Morgan, are you staying in the mansion or are you going home?
I'll probably go home.
Okay. You, Ralph, James, and Morgan, you guys all walk through the door. It's fairly late out now. James, going through your information took a couple hours. It's fairly dark out now. It's pushing like maybe 11 o'clock. The streets are quiet. Does Ralph have a vehicle, or was he just walking around town?
He doesn't have it with him or anywhere nearby. No.
Okay.
So he was just walking.
Yeah, it's not too far. The hotel's not too far from you. It's on the more of the outskirts of town, but it's not a very far walk. James, you head off in your truck. Morgan, I'm gonna guess you head home. Did you take a car this time because you had small boy?
Small boy can fit on the motorbike.
Okay, I was just making sure.
I
Did
also
you
don't
dress
have
him
a
up?
car?
Oh,
No.
that's true. Just fucking black slime on the back of the motorbike. Okay, you head home to Doll. Ralph, on your way back to the hotel, The streets are quiet. The only light that is guiding your way are basically the street lights. Down the street you took, none of the homes lights or the shop lights are on. So it feels a little like a ghost town almost. As you're walking through and getting towards the hotel, you can see it in the distance, but you can see something else. It's a tall figure in a very well fit suit. They have long blonde hair that reaches down towards their chest. The suit is gray. It's visible in the light of the street. You can see one other body walking along with it. It's a larger man. You can't really tell what he looks like. He seems to be a little encased by shadow, almost. You see the tall figure lean back. The way he grabs onto the other man is basically like about the chin. He grabs his jaw. There's an odd silence around them before the man lets go and disappears. The only thing that's left is the larger man's body as he walks into town. He passes by you without a word, without a notice. His attention is on something else. As you watch him go by, you notice around the edge of his face that there is a line of white makeup. And then he continues past. And that's where we're going to call it for the night. Of course, I have to thank our sponsors. That is the letter ND Beyond, DNDBeyond.com. And of course, the Lucky Dice Cafe. In looking for live games in the Huntsville, Alabama area. Be sure to check it out once everything is lifted. We, of course, have a YouTube if you've missed any episodes in the past, and a Patreon if you'd like to support us in any way. We do have other games besides just this one tomorrow night. Be sure to come back and join us as we go into another episode of Avernus. Then it's our weekend break. We will come back on Monday with the Escorts. Tuesday, of course, we have our new game, Vampire Valley by Night. And then back on Wednesday for Monster of the Week. I gotta thank all my players. Maddie, who plays Cassie. Jason, who plays James. Molly, who plays Morgan. Cody, who plays Stuart. Decca, who plays Jernia. And of course, our new player, Steve, who plays our lovely friend, Ralph. Be sure to join us back next week. More fun, hopefully. We'll see what happens. Thanks, bye!